Namaste, Deji.
Yes, you can start, please. Yes.
So let's have the universal prayer first. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May all who feel themselves as one with thee know they are therefore one with every other.
Thank you, Mary Kay. Yes, sir, you can start. Sir, you can start.
Oh, thank you, thank you. So I welcome all who have joined, and very good evening. This is our Voice of the Silence study class, and we have been studying the first fragment, which is titled as the Voice of the Silence. So last time we have studied the three halls mainly: hall of ignorance, hall of learning, and hall of wisdom. And now we will begin with the very first slide. It shows rise because it is your nature, and shine because it is your right. So focus that first slide, Vimalji. Yes. So why rising? Yes, it is human nature which is progressing because it is self-conscious and wanted to know more and more. So it is gathering information, getting experience, and the human soul is growing, rising. It is its nature. Rise from, but the instruction is given in this: rise from illusion of separateness. Because self as separation is a great illusion. It is only when you rise from this sense of separateness, then you will be able to listen 7 mystic sounds. So today we are going to study how you are becoming able to study 7 mystic sounds as you rise step by step. And these 7 mystic sounds are not outside, they are within you. And they reach to your heart chamber, which is the abode of the world mother. And there we are asked to store what we have heard, those mystic sounds. So it is a rising, which is our nature, from physical body to lunar body to solar body to star body. I am referring these with different names. This is what we are going to study here, because it is said you have to paralyze your lunar body or you kill your lunar body, then only you can enter into the solar body, and then you become a walker of the sky. It is really interesting words which we are going to study today. You become the walker of the sky because you have to cross the threshold, that boundary. And after this is the process of rising. Rise because it is your nature. And then it is said, shine because it is your right. So shine because not to impress others, but to inspire others, to bring them in this path of spirituality. You are a star in true sense, and you have star body. So shine because it is your right. So let us not forget the true miracle is not walking on water or flying in the air or sky, becoming the skywalker, but our aim is simply walking on this earth. So when we study these verses 37 and 38 in the Hall of Wisdom, 37 and 38, they say, if through the Hall of Wisdom thou reach the veil of bliss, disciple, close fast thy sense against the greater dire hearsay of separateness that weans thee from the rest. So here it says, if you cross the hall of wisdom, then you will reach to the veil of peace, veil of bliss. So unless the sense of separateness ends, unless you cross the hall of wisdom, how can you reach to the veil of bliss, which is the fourth state? So it says, if through the hall of wisdom, if you cross successfully, and if you reach the veil of bliss, disciple, remember your back door close fast, and the senses against the great dire heresy are closed fast. That means you have passed from the illusion, self as separation, and you have realized the oneness of life. It is very interesting. Let not heaven born merge in Maya. See, in the sense, let not thy heaven born merged in the sea of Maya break from the universal parent soul, but let the fiery power retire into the inmost chamber, the chamber of the heart, and the abode of the world's mother. See, these each word needs explanation. Heaven born, which means you yourself a divine spark. You are a star. You are heaven born. But let not merge into the Maya. So when you are a heaven born, you definitely involved in the matter, that is Maya. And you have broken yourself, your link with the soul. So break from the universal parent, over soul. That universal parent is over soul. Our individual soul needs to be merged into the over soul. That is our aim. But the individual soul is broken. And therefore, let that, then the process is shown here. Let that fiery power. What is this fiery power? The fiery power refers awakening to our dauntless energy or kundalini, that is fiery serpent, serpent fire, and retire into the inmost chamber, the chamber of the heart. Again, we are asked to meditate in the heart. So this chamber of the heart, it is mentioned in our Hindu tradition as Brahmapura. In Mahabharata, this is the Hastinapura. So Brahma means process of becoming, and Pura means literally a forest. This is the city of soul, forest in the sense in the nature. So this Brahmapura is the God's home. Therefore, it is called world's mother, abode of the world's mother. So heaven born is the divine spark in us, we are asked to awaken the Kundalini fire or serpent fire, and it must be stored into the heart. That these two things are saying. Then in Hall of Wisdom, what we have to learn is our solar archetype. You just see this projection. Here in red, you can see yogi must pass through how repeated absorption and repeated dissolution until awareness becomes effortless and irreversible. That is the way how to rise and shine, because you are a star. You are a star, it is shown on this side, right side. The first is the physical body, second is the lunar body. These are the circles shown. Third is the solar body, and last is the star body. And this is all connected by the silver cord or sutratma. It is not cut. So all these are linked. So we must rise from physical to astral to mental to spiritual. These terms we know. Physical plane to astral plane to mental plane to spiritual divine plane. This is how we have to rise. But let us remember, solar archetype, why it is solar body? Esoterically, sun is the star and an archetype of central consciousness. We all belong to solar system. Sun is the source, sun is the unity, sun is the center, and sun is your inner center. The planetary movements around us are the different expressions of the one. Especially these planetary movements are compared to our microcosmos about our thoughts and emotions. Then the whole solar system is a living mandala of ordered intelligence. So there is only one intelligence, and intelligence came first, and that is planned all this solar system. So what we must remember, how we can relate this sun, planets, and solar system, and how can we be the solar archetype to relate to our human constituents. Sun is the Atman, inner center, and planetary movements are the movements of our mind, emotions, faculties. These are the orbital rhythms of thought and our karma. Awareness is the space in which all these planetary movements occur. And the sun that we seek is within. The alignment is internal. And what is the light? Light is the awareness itself. So rise and shine. Shine because you are that light, that awareness. Once we understand this, then we'll go further. The 39 and 40. The 39 says, then from the heart that power shall rise into the sixth, the middle region, the place between thine eyes, when it becomes the breath of the one soul, the wise which filleth all thy master's wise. So breath becomes one soul, and the wise becomes the master's wise. And for that, your heart power, from the heart, that power shall rise into the sixth, which is the middle region, the place between the eyes. See, very clearly it is shown how we should rise. That is from the root chakra to spleen chakra to solar chakra to heart chakra. Heart chakra is the fourth. And we are asked to go to the fifth. Fifth chakra is the Kantha chakra. And from fifth, we'll go to the sixth, is the where we get the insight. So we have to write the root chakra is dealing with our survival, spleen chakra is dealing with our pleasures, and the solar chakra is dealing with our free will, and the heart is dealing with what we call love or our belongings, relationships, and the throat chakra that gives the clarity more through the thoughts. So it is mental body. And finally, in between the thine eyes is the jnana chakra, insight. And only then you touch the master. So clearly it is explained. These verses, then from the heart that power shall rise into the sixth, the middle region, the place between thine eyes, when it becomes the breath of the one soul and the wise which filleth all thy master's wise. Again, very difficult to understand. Breath becomes one. What is this breath? What we breathe actually? It is interesting to know. You are not breathing air. You are not breathing only oxygen. You are actually inhaling the consciousness, which means breath was never just keeping you alive. It was also keeping us here on this earth, being self-conscious. So our every inhale is not just a air that is not just released. It is you who are losing your grip on this dimension, on this. So our growth is dimensional growth. So we breathe consciousness. We are not breathing air, but we are breathing consciousness, but unconsciously. We are breathing consciousness unconsciously. This indicates deconditioning of the mind and awareness. More deconditioning of the mind, more will be the awareness. Then 40th says, this is how only then you can become a walker of the sky, who tread the winds above the waves, whose steps touches not the waters. So here again, interesting to know all of the wisdom that is walker of the sky. The walker of the sky, who treads the winds above the waves, whose steps touches not the waters. Here, when we say, it is like a bird. Two wings we already given, Viveka and Vairagya. With this, we can take a quantum jump or flight. It is also walker of the sky is named as the Khecher, Khchara, who treats the wind above waves, whose steps touch not the water. So this stage comes during initiation period. The disciple becomes the walker of the sky. That is, he gets spiritually reborn with the quality of non-resistance, for which he has to step out of himself to become free from resistance. This is that fourth stage, in the beginning, which we spoke about the Turya state, from wakeful state to dreaming state to deep sleep state to this Turya state of consciousness, which is a transcendental state. This comes only when the disciple drops the idea of his spiritual achievement. I remember here a story of Buddha. Buddha was sitting and a Brahmin came to meet the Buddha. He came with gifts to offer to Buddha, and he had two gifts, one in the left hand and the other in the right hand. So when he is coming nearer to the Buddha, that time Buddha immediately recognized and he ordered, drop it. Then immediately Brahmin dropped the gift from the right hand. Again he stepped forward. Again Buddha said, drop it. Then he dropped the gift of the right hand, both the hands. Again he stepped forward. But Buddha again said, drop it. Then little bit confused Brahman. Immediately he got enlightened and stepped forward. So what is it he dropped the third time is the one we have to meditate. So here, this is the third category is complete dissociation. Without this, a neophyte cannot enter the vale of bliss. Vale of bliss, it is said. So dissociation from the little self and the dissociation from very idea of dissociation. So this is to come in the fourth state, Turya state. It is the mind beyond its three attributes also. These attributes are inertia, activity, and service, or sattva, tamasa, rajasa, and sattva. These are the attributes from which he must rise up. So Walker of the Sai, very well explained in the Jnaneshwari in Marathi. You may be aware of Jnaneshwari, which is the commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. And HPB mentions Jnaneshwar was a yogi, and he has explained very well in his Jnaneshwari. I will read that one. I have a book in my hand, The Voice of the Silence, which is the quest miniature book. In this I found Khecher, Skywalker, or Goer, as explained in the 6th chapter of the King of Mystic Works, the Jnaneshwari. The body of the yogi becomes as one formed of the wind, as a cloud from which limbs have sprouted out, and after which he, the yogi, beholds the things beyond the seas and stars. He hears the language of the devas and comprehends it and pursues that which is passing in the mind of the saint. So this is what very small letters are there. It goes difficult to read me, but it is what it is explained in Jnaneshwari. So let us go now. The next. What we here we have to remember. Two opposites should be dropped, but still mind lingers in the consciousness of freedom from the conflict of opposites. That is what the third, the Brahmin dropped. That idea of dropping should be dropped. This is the process, in fact, deconditioning of the mind, which J. Krishnamurti spoke. It is to be a walker in the sky. A conditioned mind is full of resistance And deconditioning mind is free from resistance. Resistance is the duality. Therefore, its steps cannot touch the water. Water represents passions, emotions, fires. So water represents, and his legs won't touch to the water means it is not touching with the passions, emotions, and fires. It is a dharana state of mind, is still with the resistance. Therefore, it cannot be comprehend the nature of dhyana and samadhi. So, unless he becomes the walker in the sky, he cannot go beyond the uh, to the stage of dhyana and samadhi. Now we'll go to the 41. Before thou settest thy foot upon the ladder's upper rung, the ladder of the mystic sounds, thou hast to hear the voice of thy inner God in 7 manners. Here it indicates you cannot jump to the last step. You have to climb step by step, and also you cannot grow faster unless you will be consistent in your right efforts. Sounds and these can be linked with the music sphere. Shinde Das writes in the first principle of theosophy, occultists believe that 12 zodiac signs and 7 planets, they all together form a sounding board with 7 strings. So mystic enters into this rhythmic vibration and hears that he enters in that heaven world. This is what Sri Jindras Das tells in the first principle of theosophy. These 7 sounds, very nicely explained these 7 sounds in the next 42, 43, 44 verses. We'll read that one by one, 7 sounds. We are able to, the first is like the nightingale's sweet voice, chanting a song of parting to its mate. Second is that comes as the sound of a silver cymbal of the dhyanis, awakening the twinkling stars. So dhyanis are awakening the twinkling stars, and they hold the silver cymbal, and that sound is heard. That is as the second. Third is sound as the plaint melodious of the ocean sprite imprisoned in the shell. Here I will explain you how the nautilus shell is the good example how it passes through these melodious ocean sprite shell imprisoned. Then the next is the followed by the chanting of veena, fifth like sound of bamboo flute thrills in thine ear. It changes the next into trumpet blast, and the last vibrates like a dull rumbling of a thunder cloud. So these 6 stages, again, 6 sounds we have to listen. That we must rise one by one to the 6th. And once we reach to the 6th, this is the actual trumpet blast changing into thunder cloud. And that awakens you. Then the 7th, it says, it swallows all other sounds, they die, and then are heard no more. Very interesting to learn this 7th sign. Before that, let me tell you, ocean sprite imprisoned in itself. So only the first one, nightingale sweet, by chanting song of parting to its mate. See, this is the voice of the silence. Have you heard this voice of the silence? When we are parting after marriage, we are sending our life partner to its mother's house. And when you are parting at the railway station, you are not saying anything, but with your eyes and with your whole nature, you are conveying something, and that is heard by the partner. So this is Nightingale's sweet voice chanting song of parting to its mate. That means we are still on the earth. It is the sound without the word. So language is to the mind, but beyond the mind, there is no language. There is a whispering or very small sound which can be heard. So here, ocean sprite imprisoned in the cell, it is a nautilus cell which exemplifies the progress. It constantly builds section after section, just like rising step by step the mystic ladder, one before until the last it opens to the ocean. Ocean here is the space. Akasha is water. It is the third principle in the material world or cosmos, on which Narayana, the self-born spirit, moves, and Dhanis are called seven sons of light. That is the stars that watch over seven sacred planets of the earth's chain. So the Veena represents the astral plane. So seventh swallows all rest. So let us recall the seven stages of man. Why seven swallows all the rest? So sevenfold nature. It is very well explained in the theosophical literature and in our daily observation in our life. When the teeth appear for the child, when it is 7 months old, then after again 7 months period, that is after 14 years, 7 plus 7, 14 years, the teeth are set. So new teeth will come. Then one more change takes place after one more 7 period, that is on 21. That is, he becomes prepared himself and purify himself. Then purify means emotionally develop. 28, mental power is developed, vital power is developed. Then 35, desires are more developed now. He becomes ambitious. And next 49, desires must end. So it is the 50 years time where we must climb this ladder. And after 50 years, you are really fit to enter into that region where you can see these sounds. So this is how the first is like a Nightingale suite, and Nightingale suite voice is an illusion. And when I said the example parting of mate, so we are caught in the beauty that binds to form. Second is the silver symbol of Dhyanis, means a stage of awakening. It is a more psychic, glamorous, and our spirit is moving outward. But third is ocean cell sprite. Here mind begins to see order, harmony is sensed. Then when the fourth Veena sound is the intuitive center is found, then fifth flute, that becomes the song of life, will without meanness, I or me is lost. Then the trumpet blast, this is the first disturbance that awakens fully, and then we are able to listen to the voice of the silence in the transcendental condition. So it is a journey through human seven planes. Nightingale passing from glamorous or attachment, especially attachment to the nation, attachment to the spiritual growth, attachment to the life partner, all these, the first sound, nightingale. Second is the symbol. It is more compared with the pratyahara, withdrawing sound. No prediction, no channeling. Then when we come to the ocean cell sprite, that is a mauna. Very silently, like a cell, we must open to the air or space. Silent and mind roars itself. Then the Veena, it is more spiritual, dialogue from intuitive understanding, speaking only what arises from the inner stillness. It is here practical brotherhood begins, where Veena sound. Then flute, that is being the hollow bamboo that carries water. You know, previously they were filling the water in the home with the hollow bamboo water. It is mentions a flute, hollow bamboo, because it is when we begin to serve, it is more concerned with the service. Then comes the trumpet, that is before dawn to the silence. The atom of me cracks here, trumpet sound. It is a cracking sound. And then the seventh is the thunder, no program, no speaker. It will announce itself from. It is also compared with the Sarigama Padanisa. These sounds, you can see these 7 stages. So you can, these mystic sound, now 50, we'll go to the next verse. When the 6 are slain, and at the master's feet they are laid, then is the pupil merged into the one, becomes that one and lives therein. Very interesting. When the 6 are slain, and they are kept at the feet of the master, then is the pupil merged into the one, becomes the one, and lives therein. Then 51, before that path is entered, thou must destroy thy lunar body. Here one need to understand lunar body. Before that path is entered, thou must destroy thy lunar body, cleanse thy mind body, cleanse thy mind body, and make clean thy heart. 3 things are asked here. Destroy the lunar body, cleanse thy mind body, and make clean thy heart. Here again, H.P. Blavatsky in the Voice of the Silence, as he stated in the Golden Stairs, destroy the lunar body means when you lead the clean life, gradually your lunar body is destroyed. When you make your mind an open mind, then your mind gets clean. In the sense, it dissolves all the distinctions and it becomes open mind. a new mind. And when the heart becomes pure, devoid of all motives, so a clean life, an open mind, and pure heart is this 51 verse is clearly mentioned. It is then only eternal life's pure waters, clear and crystal, cannot mingle with the monsoon tempest muddy torrents. This is again interesting. It is condition. It is only then you have clean life, open mind, pure heart. Then that eternal life's pure waters, which are clear and crystal, that cannot mingle with the monsoon tempest muddy torrents. So again, it is not getting polluted. Then 53, heaven's dew drop, glittering in the morning's first sunbeam within the bosom of the lotus, when dropped on the earth, becomes a piece of clay. Behold then, the pearl is now a speck of mire. So it means heaven's dew drop, our pure spirit. You are the heaven dew drop. You are a pure spirit. You are a pure consciousness. And this is dropped from the heaven. It should be, if it is dropped on the lotus flower, it glitters like a pearl. But if it is dropped in the soil, it becomes a speck of dust. So remember, dust, piece of clay. So remember, that is what it is said to the disciple. This can be very well depicted by life cycle of butterfly, hidden way to cross the threshold. This is what in the next slide I have tried to explain. Again and again, I am giving these 4 stages of butterfly. See, actually I forgotten to give the number 1, 2, 3, 4. So how it is passing through these 3 halls. And that is the 4th stage is very important in what we study in the Voice of the Silence, the all Buddha's teaching, Mahayana. And you know, Buddha has 4 stages. That is Sotapan, Sakadagami, Anagami, and Arhat. Sotapan is entering into the stream. That is the first stage. Here, he must be free from the misunderstanding and all kinds of false visions need to be entered. Then only he can entering into the stream. Entering into the stream means he kept the first step on the right path. This is the stream of that stream takes to liberation from all kind of suffering. So this is called Sotapan stage. Second stage, Sakadagami. Here, one who returns only once, only one life is remained to become nirvana. So this is stage is Sakadagami, where he becomes desireless. Rather, his desires and angers are, we can say, almost reduced. Almost, most of them are reduced. I am not telling he is free from the desire and anger, but they become reduced. And he can return only once in the human realm. This is Sakadagami. Then third stage is Anagami. Here all desires and angers are completely eliminated. And here actually a stage, Anagami stage, no returning to human realm again. This is the third stage. and it is very troubling stage. Then the fourth is the Arhat. It is he is free from the birth and death cycle. This is the final and highest state, Arhat. So all bondage end and complete nirvana is attained. So this is all path of Dhamma. That is the path of purification, the path of peace, path of wisdom, and path of liberation. So these four stages I have shown here, destroying the lunar body, hidden ways cross the threshold. So what we must remember is to attain this fourth state, which is the bliss state, you are not the body, because body withers. You are not the mind, because that changes. You are not the pleasures that flickers. So not the body that withers, not the mind that changes, not that pleasure flickers. You are beyond this. You are that space in which clouds are born and die. All names dissolve. All forms return to dust. All waves rise and fall. You are like, but the ocean never knows its ripples. So pass through as three steps to the fourth. That is, first you have to promise. Second, you have to practice. And third, you have to build a relationship. So be the promise, be the brotherhood relation, be the relationship. That is, promise means promise yourself, judging nothing. Then you will be happy. Be brotherly, forgiving everything. That means you become happier. And build harmonious relationship means loving all, then you become happiest. But remember also, being happiest, still not the bliss state. So this fourth state, to attain the bliss state, you must promise, you must practice, and you must build a relationship. So 50 to 53, the pupil is merged into the one when the six are slain at the master's feet. The six lower principles, physical two principles, astral, mental two, and buddhic. So that need to be merged into the Atma. Atma is your source. Heart, it is indicates seventh principle or seven chakras. Heart is indicated in seven principles or seven chakras, what we say. When six are slain, means when six are aligned or silenced, they are laid at the feet of the master. So the voice of the silence, master is used. In that sense, who is the master? At whose feet we have to keep all this? Our higher self. But we use the word master, ego, higher self, monad in our theosophical terms. And in one sense, all these are one, unity. Therefore, merged into the one. That is what it says, merged into the one. But as they are existing in different states and in different relationships, with inner God, we use them as different higher self, monad, master, like this. That is, a truth has been experienced in the higher consciousness, but it is then translated into the language of brain as sound or color or vibration. HPV in 44 actually metaphorically mentions that the plaint melodious of the ocean sprite imprisoned in the cell. 44. So that 44, again, Nautilus cell I usually explain. Our every individual consciousness has its limitations, and these are the symbolized by the cell. So our lunar nature is false. Before that path is entered, HPB says, desire is the principle and form produced by it is lunar body. That means it is desire body. We can build a new, but we are to destroy kama manasa, means killing our desires. We are not destroying our capacities of knowledge and affection. But what we are destroying, that is what HVB makes it clear, principle of those desires need to be destroyed. There has to be a process of purgation to eliminate all the toxic and negativities within. So therefore, verse says, cleanse thy mind body and make thy heart clean. Poisoned mind body is the slayer of the real that needs to be cleaned. Mind body need to be transcended, that is made clear even at the feet of the master. Because the mind body thinks itself very proudly and separate. Mind body thinks of much of itself and very little of others. So we are more selfish rather than unselfish. So if you change your mind, still it tries to calculate for oneself and make you think of your own progress instead of thinking of the master's work and helping others. So when you meditate, then it will try to make you think of many instead of only one objects of meditation. So adapt desire body is not, lunar body is not destroyed, but adapts lunar body are the same as what we call lunar body. Just as the moon derives its light from the sun, so the astral body derives its light from the higher self. So all desires are converted into aspirations. Then next, 54. So Voice of the Silence says, strive with thy thoughts unclean before they overpower thee. Here, right direction to the thoughts should be given, because use them as they will be. So when there is noble thought comes, take it and let it manifest. For if thou sparest them, then they take root and grow. Know well, these thoughts will overpower and kill thee. So here, thought culture, we know very well how thoughts are, thought power, thoughts, how they bring responsible for the human character. If you change your thought, you will change your mind, you change your behavior, and you change your character also. This character building is more concerned. So strive with thy thoughts unclean before they overpower you. Be aware, disciple, suffer not. Even though it be their shadow to approach. Again, don't think much of controlling the thought. Here, shadow to approach. This shadow, Leadbeater has explained very well. And this shadow, it will grow, increase in size and power, and then this thing of darkness will absorb thy being before thou hast well realized the black hole of monster presence. So whatever negative thoughts are there, they are energy entities. They are free like cloud, and they become a shadow. They grow, they increase their size, and finally they become black hole, monsters presence. So these are the evil thought clouds appear like monsters. That is what it is said. Once again, I would like to say mystic sounds. These can be related as the theosophical member, because we have to be one with the nature. These can be related to the sounds of the 7 human principles or 7 cosmic principles. When we raise step by step to the mystic ladder, soul is able to listen sounds, mystic sounds, which is the nothing but the song of life. So here it in the mineral kingdom. First step is to hear this sound in mineral kingdom, in rocks and stones, life of earth, which is pulsating. That is the first step. Then hear the song of life in the vegetable kingdom. How the plants, trees, flowers, how they awaken you. This is how you must hear. Then hear the song of life in the animal kingdom. You can hear in the animal kingdom, there are countless insects. You can see the sharp flight of birds, songs of birds. Even you can hear the tamed animals' voice, which are without any words. Then listen to the song of life in human kingdom. So here in human kingdom, awaken to self-consciousness, which is aspiring, which is striving, which is growing, rising, shining, and to change in this changing world. Listen to the human kingdom. So in the Light on the Path, it is said, look into the heart of men. Then the 5th is, listen to the song of life in the great Deva kingdom. In nature spirits, these devas of mountain, devas of forest, they are really cooperating with humility, with their healing power, force, which is the highest level. Listen to that. Then 6th, listen to the mystic sounds of masters of wisdom and all past great souls. Then 7th, that absorbs every sound. This is what again and again I am telling about the 7 mystic sounds, 7 mystic ladder steps, and all that, how lunar body can be destroyed. Here, one more figure I have given. We reach to the hall of wisdom through waking world, dreaming world, then there comes the wide shunyata, then the pure light center. When everything is peaceful, when complete, when everything is peaceful, when conflict is resolved, when silence becomes honesty, and attraction becomes devotion. So these are the conditions. Then the inner sound kills the outer. Then the last 55 to 57, these slay the lunar body, 55 to 57 verses, we read, then it gives us meaning. Before thy mystic power can make of thee a god, O Lanu, thou must have gained the faculty to slay thy lunar form at will. Only when we understand these deeply, only then how we can kill the lunar body. Slay, it is said, slay the lunar body. In some cases, it is said, paralyze the lunar body. But at your will, not any force. Then 56, the self of matter and the self of spirit can never meet. One of the twain must disappear. There is no place for both. Again, our self of matter, our personality cannot reach to that individuality. There is that antakarana bridge which needs to be crossed. There has to be a gap, and that gap needs to be crossed. What is that gap? Even in neuroscience, we have these two neural cells. They cannot touch each other. There is a gap that is called synaptic gap. That synaptic gap is mystically crossed. What are those receptors which help them to cross? And those receptors are nothing but the graces. Then 57 says, ere thy soul's mind can understand, the bud of personality must be crushed out, the worm of sense destroyed past resurrection. So there is a bud in you. You are a budding master. Bud is there. Take care that it is not destroyed by the worms of senses. And last, one more figure I have given. This, you have seen these pictures. See this lower mind and higher mind. And the connection is given with gap, finger. So through finger it is given. That means one lamp is lit, the other lamp. This is how the light is given. And in the down figure, the skull is shown, and inside the brain is there. And this is given through that the hand goes out through that third eye. And through that, it receives. So when you reach from heart to the place between two eyes, you become the breath of one. These are the terms, very interesting term. One needs a lot of contemplation of all this. I think, Vimalji, I have spoken much. I don't know whether I am giving gap to discussion, but it is true. One has to think over deeply. Thank you very much for all of you for attending this. If
Thank you
anybody
so much.
wants to ask, they can ask.
Yes, it's open for any questions. Thank you so much, sir. It was very interesting, very engrossing. So we covered
Up to
so many things, the movement of the
Yeah.
Kundalini and the effect of it on the body and mind, the sounds of the higher mind. Then we covered mainly today the destroying of the lunar body, which is the destroying of the body of our desires. That is the main theme, I think, today. So anybody has any questions, you can unmute and ask, please. Or additions.
The very first slide, rise because it is your nature, and shine because it is your right. So here we have to rise from physical body to lunar body to solar body to star body. That is rising. and becoming the walker of the sky means free from all these attributes, that is inertia, activity, even harmony. Beyond all this, again, one example I gave of dropping, left hand, right hand, duality is dropped. And third one that is dropped, idea of dropping should be dropped. Then you will be free.
I had one question. The veil of bliss, no, the first number 37, I think. 1 minute. So you don't, it is talking about how one does not have to be born again. You enter this veil of bliss. You reach the, see, 37 says, if through the hall of wisdom thou wouldst reach the veil of bliss, disciple, close fast thy senses against the great dire heresy of separateness that means thee from the rest. What is the veil of bliss?
Yeah. That is fourth stage. Veil of bliss is fourth stage. Fourth stage of consciousness, Turiya state. Turiya state. That is what I explained, whole in this. We are reaching that fourth stage in different manner. How Buddha taught it by Anagami and all these stages. That is the fourth state.
There is a request from Geeta to show this last slide. Geeta, do you want me to show
Yeah. Yes.
this
Because
or the next?
tomorrow is the White Lotus day.
Okay.
Sarigama, this slide. You look at this, because tomorrow these are again Sarigama, how these are connected with our 7 sounds. Sarigama, this is all you can read.
Okay, I think Geeta want me to show this slide.
This one, White Lotus Day, 8th May 2026. Because H.P. we are remembering H.P. Blavatsky in the month of May always. And it is nice that Gandhinagar Lodge has arranged such kind of study class on the voice of the silence. This is the last gift to the world, literary gift to the world by H.P. Blavatsky. And she is known as the, her Nirvan Din is called White Lotus Day. The White Lotus Day is the symbol. It has got roots in the mud, means we are in the earth plane, that is physical plane. And from earth, there are roots. We take this source from the earth and we grow. We grow slowly, taking the food from the earth. That is what stem rises up. And when it comes to the surface of the water, it gives the leaves. Leaves are only on the surface. They won't go above the surface of the water. Means they have got limitation. Lotus leaves have got limitations. They must fall on the water. That means it is the lower mind. Leaves are the symbol of lower mind. Roots are symbol of our physical body. And we are rising from the material body through the water. Water is the symbol of emotional body. And we come to the surface of the water. Here, lower mental body. Then the stem again rises and it shows the bud. So bud, before it get crushed or poisoned by any insect, before it shed, you take care of it. That is what it is said. Then it blooms, facing its face towards the sunlight. So this is the best example in spirituality, how we should grow, blooming in this. So we remember White Lotus Day with the Nirvana Din of H.P. Blavatsky. That is what I want to say, end with this.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I think this is all very inspirational. At the beginning of the Voice of Silence, it is written that it is for the daily use of Lanus. That is, we are supposed to contemplate and think and get insights on this book. So, Professor Shindeji has given us a lot of material to think about today. And I hope all of you will read the book while you are studying with Shindeji. It will really help you. So, thank you, everybody. And let's all join together in gratitude for these classes and for the Theosophical Society and for the movement started 150 years ago. ॐ असतो मा सद्गमयं तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमयं मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमयम् सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all. Thank you, Professor
you.
Shinde.
Thank you. Thank you.